Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut. Welcome to the month of November. Today is the 1st of November. This is a quick astrology update. For those of you that are wanting more clarity, more details, and more depth concerning the astrology, do join us on Patreon as we go into the whole month, looking at what's going on astrologically, what the energies are that are surrounding us, what is going to help us, what is going to hinder us. And please remember that November is going to be a very challenging, very difficult month. I do see it as the peak of the year of 2021, where a lot is changing. There will be, we're in eclipse season right now. We've got an eclipse happening, which will be a full moon in Taurus on the 19th of November. I'll be doing a special eclipse reading, probably using the tarot as well. But if you're not subscribed, please do so. Subscribe, like the video, and also press on that notification bell so that you don't miss any videos, any uploads from Divine Debut 11. And we've got an eclipse, a full moon happening in Taurus on the axis Taurus-Scorpio. So obviously for Taurian people, Scorpio people, the fixed signs, including Leo and Aquarius, they will be more affected by this full moon. Full moon, of course, is a culmination and an ending. Taurus Scorpio is all about money. It's our values. It's how we feel safe, secure financially through what we own or what comes through to us from other sources, money coming through from others. Now, happy birthday if you are a Scorpio. It's your time. The sun moving through Scorpio, and with a new moon happening on the 4th roughly of November in the sign of Scorpio. Remember, new moons are seeds that we plant, so send your wishes out to Spirit. Ask for what it is that you want to receive. Make sure that your wishes are sent precisely, because Spirit doesn't know. Spirit is not up in your head. Okay, so send your wishes out precisely, what it is that you want to manifest in a matter of 6 months, as the sun will, go through and come back to the Taurian season. That's when, logically, when we'll be having a full moon in Scorpio, that's when you should realize your wishes. Anyway, everyone, so here we are, November. November, not easy. And the new moon is not going to be easy either, because it's going to be in opposition to Uranus. As you can see, we're only 3 days before the new moon, and the moon is transiting now through Virgo. It's all about looking at the details, providing a service, doing the work. Rolling up those sleeves is Virgo. Virgo gives. Virgo is nurturing, providing. It's pure. It's health. So the moon in a mutable sign, just like today's reading, the tarot reading, nothing is yet set in stone. Because, with the moon, which does speak to our emotions, remember that in opposition to Virgo is Pisces, so very intuitive, the axis of Virgo and Pisces, very intuitive. The sun moving through Scorpio, another water sign, very deep, very fixed though, very much about mysticism, secrets. Okay, it's like we're in our cave where the hermits were doing the work. The moon is getting ready to ingress into Libra. So this will be sort of pointing back to that full moon in Aries that we had recently, which was very, very challenging. Remember, a full moon is always where the moon and the sun are in opposition. So the full moon happened in Aries, okay, and that was on the 20th of October. Very challenging new moon. Again, I'm going to say those of you that are on Patreon You've obviously got the details there. Do join us on Patreon if you're interested in the astrology. We go into a lot of details. So that was a very challenging. Remember that Aries is all about, it's the warrior, but Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars was transiting through Libra, which was very uncomfortable. So the strength was, even though we've got the courage, Mars in opposition to Aries in Libra, which was very weak, sort of put the warrior in a position of weakness. The strength was in the other people. So remember that Mars was transiting through Libra, and Libra is all about matters of justice, balance, harmony. So maybe the bull was in the court of the other people that we deal with, our relationships, work, family, romance. Now, that was a full moon on the 20th of October. We're coming up to a full moon in Taurus, which will be an eclipse. We're already in these energies, everyone. Eclipse means an amplified, obviously, full moon. And that will be happening on the 19th of November. Do connect with me so that you can receive more details as we go. On Patreon, we also go into mythology, and we know that what is going on up there in the ethers is reflected on this 3D plane. So Mars was in a weak position here. Mars has ingressed now into its home sign of Scorpio. Okay, Mars is powering up. Mars is, remember, it's courage, it's fire, it's cardinal fire. Mars does rule Scorpio as well as Aries, but remember, Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. So we're in a Plutonian time right now, and a lot's been going on concerning matters of justice, litigation, and law, matters of law. Has there been justice? Has there been truth? Mercury, remember, had been retrograding in the sign of Libra, and Libra is that sign. Mercury does rule children, it rules logic, short distance travel. Mercury can be the trickster. It's information, it's communication, it's logic. Has there been logic? It also rules health. Has there been logic in the world concerning matters of health? Remember, Mercury rules Virgo as well as Gemini. So Mercury is always around the action. Mercury travels always very close to the sun. And the sun speaks to clarity, it speaks to heart, it speaks to fun, childlike energies, healing. Now, the sun is bringing the light to whatever has been dark. And we're in a bit of a roller coaster of a month as Mars has ingressed into Scorpio, where it's very powerful, and therefore it's triggering, as I've been talking to you concerning, the year of 2021 with Saturn in Aquarius squaring over to Uranus. Okay, it's triggering this square once more, and Mars be traveling through fixed Scorpio, which is water. It will come and square over to Saturn and oppose Uranus. Now, this new moon will also be in opposition to Uranus, everyone. That's why I'm saying it's going to be a very difficult new moon. New moon in opposition to Uranus. This Uranus is shocks, it's revelations, it's got to do with humanity, it's got to do with that higher perspective, that ethereal an open mind. It speaks to intelligence, ethereal intelligence, doing things differently or rebelling. Now, Uranus transiting through Taurus has been happening for a few years now, and we've still got some time, as Uranus in its weak position of Taurus is bringing great upheaval and change, because Taurus is fixed earth and Uranus is a rebellion. It's like, I need to change things. It's not, we cannot stay with the status quo forever. Things need to change. So the sun and the new moon well, the sun and the moon conjoining, which will be the new moon, will be in opposition to Uranus. So anything goes. It could be surprises, it could be shocks concerning what is Saturn. Saturn is the norm, it's the order. You know, Uranus wants to break the order, the old way of doing things. And Saturn does speak to karma. We're looking at, let's say, Saturn with Mercury. Saturn and Mercury both moving through air signs. Air speaks to communication, information, the way we perceive things. Now, Mercury has been doing his work here. He's been doing a lot of work as he was retrograding. Now we've come out of retrograde season, so it's as though we're starting to move forward. Starting to move forward with things that we were working on, redirecting and changing. Remember, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury were all retrograde, and Pluto moving through Capricorn. As you can see, Mercury here is squaring over to Pluto, everyone, and I do go into the details. I mean, this is information being seen, things that were hidden. Pluto through Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and it does speak to people that are in positions of power, governments. As Mercury was retrograding here, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter all were retrograding. So we were doing the inner work. Remember, it was very powerful. There was no forward momentum. Now it's all about finding things that were hidden under the carpet, you know, deeply into the earth, into the Plutonian energies. Remember, this is Scorpio. We're moving through Scorpio now, and Pluto rules Scorpio. So as the sun is moving through, the sign of Scorpio, it is going to be connecting with Pluto. That is great power. That is great power. And the sun will be showing us, because the sun does bring clarity into the depths, the darkness of Scorpio. Pluto, remember, Pluto is Hades. As Mercury is getting ready to ingress into Scorpio, Mercury is going to join Pluto in the depths of, things that were hidden very deeply, very, very well hidden. Mercury is going to be bringing up the information that was unseen or purposely hidden. Scorpio is all about moving through like a dark night of the soul. As the sun is moving through Scorpio, Mars is very powerful here. Mercury will be conjoining with the sun very soon in the next few days. Okay, and we have been going through a lot of hardships. As you can see here, we've got like a very difficult T-square here concerning Pluto, Plutonian matters, Pluto and Capricorn, the leaders of the world, people that are in positions of leadership is Capricorn. Capricorn is the elder, it's the wiser, so we're all growing, maturing. Now it's connected to Mercury, and this is the third time that they're connecting. They were both in retrograde motion, and we do go into dates if you are interested in finding out about that. Again, through Patreon. The link will be beneath the video, so that you can go into the finer details if that so interests you. So this is the third meeting of Pluto and Mercury. There will be a lot of disclosure that will be coming through. Remember, Mercury is communication, Pluto is the masses, it's riches, it speaks to a death and an ending. There is a resurrection of sorts happening on a fundamental level. It's a very, very slow process, but remember that as Pluto is activated, we're getting closer and closer to an ending. Remember, Pluto is an outer planet, so it takes very slow steps. So the transformation, a death and a transformation, is a very slow process. What comes after death is a resurrection. So there are many timelines that are playing out at the same time in the world, in our personal lives as well. And we've got Pluto connected to Eris, which I've been talking about. She's an asteroid. She's been in square with Pluto for a couple of years now, and this is still going, but we've just come out of just recently out of this exact square where they're starting to pull apart now. And Eris is chaos. She's the goddess of discord and war, and she will take to the streets. She will ask for her justice. We've seen a lot of that happening, playing out in the world, where people are pushing back on the mandatory rules that have been served to humanity. Every country in a different way, on a different timeline, in a different matter, but in actuality, this is it's like a collective energy. Remember, just like we personally are not on the same timeline with another person, that's how countries have got their own timelines. And everyone and all countries have got their own issues at certain points of time. But November is going to be like a symphony coming together, that crescendo, that peak of the orchestra coming together all in one instant, right? So we will have a peak moment, I feel, in the month of November, as the energies they're pushing towards that. It's like pulling on an elastic band, and at some point it's going to break. There is going to be some sort of a break. The stress, the anxiety, the pressure is just too much. Something has to give. You can see the volcanoes erupting. You can see earthquakes all over the world that are playing out, and that's Uranus transiting through Taurus. As above, so below, just like the Magician card in the tarot. Okay, what's going on? The clash of the titans up there in the sky, and we're coming up to even December. December's around the corner, where we're going to have the last exact square between Saturn and Uranus, which will be happening around Christmas. But I feel November is a very, very important turning point for the world, for everyone. Now, Venus has just, I've got 0 Aries here. Not everyone's chart looks like this. But Venus is at the last degrees of coming closer to the last degrees of Sagittarius. She's conjunct Juno, actually. Beautiful. Juno is the asteroid of commitment, marriage, or any commitments whatsoever. And the 27th, 28th degree here of Sagittarius is a very important portal. So it's interesting to see Venus there. Venus through Sagittarius is more about freedom. She's very adventurous. She's preparing to enter Capricorn, and everyone, she will be in Capricorn for a few months, so she's going to be retrograding there. So she's preparing to go into battle. She reminds me, Venus in Capricorn reminds me of Athena in mythology, the goddess warrior, the goddess warrior, as she's going to be putting on her battle suit, her suit of armor. She's preparing to go into battle, as she will be transiting through Capricorn. She knows that she's going to have to work with the difficult planets, so she's in preparation mode. So that will be happening in about 4 days. So today, around the 5th, just letting you all know that As you can see here, I mean, the sun will be in opposition to Uranus as well, and that's like a tug of war. We're coming into a difficult season. So by the time you receive this reading and you're going through it, we're going to have Mercury squaring over exactly to Pluto. So this is like someone trying to hide things, trying to, sweep things under the carpet. But this is someone that's trying to hold on to information that shouldn't be kept secret. And a square means that, there's work to be done, and this is getting uncomfortable. Some people are feeling hot around the collar at this point because this is the third connection with Mercury and Pluto. Remember, Mercury is preparing to enter Pluto's home. Now, as Mercury is going to enter here and will be sextiling over to Pluto, will be connecting well to Pluto, the information will start to come through. So people that have got things to hide, people that have not been communicating, being logical, they're going through, the potential is for a death and a transformation, changes, great changes going on in their life. Remember that Pluto does speak to control. Someone's been trying to control. Mercury can also speak to childlike energies. Remember, Mercury rules Gemini. And as the nodes, North Node in Gemini, Mercury being the ruling planet of Gemini, and this is in connection, in a good connection. Air signs means communication, it means justice, it means logic, it speaks to truths, law. As the nodes, North Node in Gemini and South Node in Sagittarius, are preparing to exit from this axis here, Mercury is sort of exiting from Libra and will enter the depths of Scorpio. It will be very interesting when Mercury comes up to oppose Uranus. That will be information going haywire, things coming up left, right, and center concerning all that Mercury and Uranus are about. Mercury will be entering Scorpio in about 4 days. So as Venus will be ingressing into Capricorn, obviously for Earth signs, that will be very positive. That will be very positive, as Venus moving through Capricorn will be in a beautiful connection to Earth signs, Taurus and Virgo. Now, as I was saying, the eclipse will be happening on the fixed sign axis, so Taurus, Scorpio, the eclipse of the 19th of November. And Aquarius and Leo will be in square to that eclipse, so it won't be easy on the fixed signs. Mutable signs are still going through a lot. If you think that, the nodes have been transiting through mutable Sagittarius and Gemini, Pisces and Virgo were in square for the last nearly year and a half, and a lot of fated changes going on as the mutable signs have been running with the punches. The energies are starting to shift, moving towards the fixed signs. Now, the fixed signs have gone through a lot as the whole year, as I said, with Saturn moving through Aquarius, Jupiter there as well, of course, but mainly the Saturn, Uranus transiting through Taurus square. So still a lot of changes for those of you that are fixed signs. A lot of changes for the next year and a half. Now, the next eclipse will be a new moon eclipse, which will be happening on the 4th of December, and that will be a new moon happening for the sign of Sagittarius. That will be a solar eclipse. So I will be uploading, I will be doing work on that on YouTube as well as on Patreon. So do join me. Remember that eclipses are felt even a couple of months, maybe even 6 months before the actual eclipse, depending on what type of an eclipse it is, which sign it's in, which element. Okay, and obviously the eclipses play out, can be exact. For me, I've had something happen in my life exactly on an eclipse to the minutes, I could practically say, but eclipses can play out for months after as well, depending again on many factors. So it's a time of change, everyone. It's a time of change. So the message today through my daily, the messenger is here, is that we need to hold on to the faith. We need to trust our intuition, that what we feel is true for us is what is important to hold on to. And our beliefs, because for many people their beliefs have been shattered, a lot of dogmatic ideas, beliefs, upbringing that we've held on to is needing to be let go of. Remember the South Node moving through Sagittarius. That's what it's all about. Neptune is still transiting through Pisces, is still retrograde until the beginning of December. Mind you, Venus will also be retrograding in the sign of Capricorn on the 19th of December. Not yet, but she's still, she's going to be doing some hard work as she's transiting through Capricorn. Obviously, that will be important for those who are ruled by Venus, which is Libra people and Taurus people. And don't forget that everyone has got Libra and Taurus somewhere in their chart. We've got all the elements, all the signs in our own astrological natal chart. So, they're different areas of life for each of us. So those of you that are interested in an analysis, a look at your birth chart, do not hesitate to send me a line. You can email me. My Gmail is beneath the video. You can visit my website and check out what readings are on offer. If there's something that you're not sure about, you can send me a line, send me an email, and I will get back to you ASAP. Now, 1st of November. Just one thing before I close. 1st of November, we're coming up to big days for me. The 8th of November, which is the day of Archangel Michael. The 8th of November is a big day. And we'd be just after that on the 11th of the 11th. So on the 11th of November is a portal, 11/11, everyone. It'll be interesting to see what happens around the 11th of this month. So I don't know, those of you that are into numerology, we've got 11/11 and 21. So I suppose you can look into that if that interests you, but it is, for me, the 11/11 portal is something that is activated. It's something, to me, it's spirit talking to us. It's signs and synchronicities. Do look out for those, because I know that, those who cannot speak to us, those that are spiritual, those that are watching us from above, do send messages out through signs, synchronicities, numbers, songs, little things that speak to you through the animals. There are many, many ways that those that have passed on, the souls, family, the gods, who is it that you believe in? Pay attention. Pay attention, because we will have a lot of communication coming through, I do believe, from the ethers. Someone is trying to wake us up Many are trying to wake us up at this time, and those that take time out and meditate, that's a good idea at this point because the energies are quite tough. So try and relieve some of that stress, some of that anxiety. Put some music on, listen to some music, something that is healing. Do things that will help you relieve the stress. Okay, so I do believe in the next couple of days, as the moon will move through Libra, it will sort of be in opposition to that full moon in Aries. So it may be a little bit tough emotionally, or this could also speak to finding our justice and our balance and our harmony emotionally for some of us, okay? It will be different for each of us. Nevertheless, everyone, I think I will leave it there. It's 14:44 on my clock right now. So I'm wishing you well. Know that the angel, spirit, God, whoever you believe in, is there, providing, watching over us, and taking care of us. We are nurtured. We are provided for. Don't lose faith. Even if things seem unrealistic, that they're so harsh at this time, pay attention. We have to go through the darkness before we can come out into the light. But we already have that speck of light. We've got that light coming through already. It's a matter of following that light. All right, everyone. Love and light to all of you. Talk to you soon.